Welcome back to another episode of Grifftalks Diecast of the Week, and as you see here, I am pointing at the Haas hood because that is what we're talking about. We're going to talk about Haas, and we're going to talk about Kurt Busch and the Haas scheme. So let's roll on out the first car here, and it is Kurt Busch's 2017 Haas Ford. Kurt Busch, as you know, won the Daytona 500, and notice that Monster is nowhere on this car, because Lionel does not want to promote energy drinks, because Monster energy drinks are not the best thing to promote to children ages 3 and up. So I'll give you a quick tour of the car here. We got Haas here on the front, 41 here on the side, Haas CNC, Haas, a couple other smaller decals here on the bottom left, Haas CNC on the back. We got Haas CNC here on the deck lid, Haas CNC up here, and you got the black and red blend here. So let's talk about it. So first of all, the one thing that I'm not a fan of is the general colors. Because like this red is your everyday run-of-the-mill Joe Schmo red. And then you got the black here on the back. The problem is both of those colors have been used all too often. And because of that, that is a negative. But there's nothing that Haas can do. Because I understand, Haas's company, their main colors are red and black, and that's what they're supposed to promote. And like I understand, there's nothing that you can do about it, but unfortunately that does not make the car stand out. Now in terms of the decals, they work. One thing that I do appreciate about this car is that it is a lot more busy than other cars, because you got Haas here, and like there's really no awkward blank spaces. That is one thing I definitely appreciate about this car. Now, one thing that I do love about this car that does make the car stand out is the color blend, which is the real design of this car. Because you see here, as we get a little closer, it's red here, and then it blends into the black here. Because it's like you got the lines here, and it's kind of like a wind shear, if you will. Because like if you blow a bunch of wind to the front of it, then the black will peel off and it'll reveal this red. But what I appreciate is that it is kind of like a gradient blend, and it's not like abrupt. And then what really helps with that is you see here on the 41, if you look really closely, the outline is red. And because of that, that really emphasizes the red here. And so in terms of the actual design, that is well done. Now, before I get too far into this, I actually am going to jump ahead and go into the second car in this review. And it is Kurt Busch's 2016 Haas Chevrolet. So before you say, Griff, why'd you buy two Kurt Busch cars? Well, yeah, I did buy two Kurt Busch cars, but this one's 2016, not 2017. Just to show you a quick little tour here, it's pretty much the same as the 2017 car. Haas here, 41, Haas CNC, pretty much everywhere. And so, just to quickly talk about this diecast. So to start things off, the colors are like the 2017 car. It's red and black. And again, I understand Haas's company is red and black, but it's general colors. Like we've seen those colors time and time again. So again, that is a minus. And then in terms of decals, as I said before, decals, they work because they're here and here and here. Like, it's definitely busy in a good sense. There's no awkward real spaces, which I appreciate. And then one difference, though, that this car has, that the 2017 car has, which I'll show here in a minute. Here on the side, so remember how it's more of a blend on the 2017 car? Here it's blocks. And so, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but you got like a rectangle here, and you got some rectangles here on the side, while the car blends into the black. And so it's definitely a more unique take on how to blend into the black. And so it's different because of that, and I definitely appreciate that. So now, the one thing I really want to talk about here, and this is going to be the first time I really do this, is a compare and contrast of the two cars. So first of all, I'm going to just say it right now, these two cars, even though they look exactly the same, they will get different grades. So first of all, biggest thing you can notice that's different, look at the size of the 41s. 2016 car, it is pretty big and pretty high up, while here it's smaller, but it's lower. I gotta give the nod to this car because it's more professionally designed. It's placed more effectively because I think Lionel, they looked back on this car, they noticed that the number was a little too big on this car, so they decided to go ahead and make it smaller and more efficient on here. And so that's not just the only area, because if you look closely, like I would say here slightly, here maybe a little bit, and here in the back, here I'll go ahead and point here, they've kind of figured out that smaller is better. Now, I mentioned before that it's good to have like bigger decals because it takes up space. If it's like sloppily added on, then that is a problem. And the biggest emphasis on that is here on top. Look how small the 41 is on the top of the 2017 car, but then look how big the 41 is on the 2016 car. Because this 41, it almost comes off the top of the car. Here it's fitted better, it's well adjusted better, and because of that, that does make the car a lot better. And then also here in the back, look how big the Haas CNC is here, and then look how tiny it is here. Because the thing is, we do get the message on the back of the car, but because of how big this is, it's again almost feels like it's coming off, while here it's more well adjusted. And then same thing on the back, the 41 here is bigger, while the 41 here is smaller. And then also finally here on the front, you notice that the red on the left car, the 2017 car, is more saturated than on the right, because on the saturation level, this is more like a darker, and it just feels more like a complete red, while this is more like a grayish red. So I'll put the two cars here next to each other. So all in all, I'm going to give the Chevy car 3 stars out of 5, and then I'm going to give the Ford car 4 stars out of 5. They both have pretty much the same things going for them. Very general bland colors, good working decals, and I love the blends that both of them have. But in terms of how the cars are made, this car is well made and well adjusted as opposed to the 2016 car. And I understand what Lionel was going for, but I'm really glad they were able to go back and actually work on it because they realized there were some faulty mistakes and they were able to adjust the sizes correctly so that the car is more efficient. So that'll do it for this episode of Grifftalks Diecast of the Week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to always check out the Diecast of the Week every Wednesday, and be sure to look out for another episode next Wednesday. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.